All right, we're back here with Josh Levesque, and we're going to talk a little bit about a film that you picked on Momitu. I gave you a task.
Mm-hmm.
Go on the platform, download the app, and for those listening, if you haven't downloaded the app yet, you're missing out. It's free. But I gave you a task. Go look, 10,000 plus titles, find one that you and I could watch, and you picked...
Glowzies.
Why did you pick Glowzies?
Because, so I already had the app downloaded on my smart TV, by the way. So it's very easy to just hop right in there. So it's a Terror Films movie. I have friends at Terror Films. I love Terror Films. I think what they're doing with indie horror is real special. And so when I opened Momitu and saw that you guys had a Terror Film section, I was like, this is going to make it a lot easier. So I'll just start here.
Yeah, we literally have just a carousel of just Terror Films. Yeah. Thanks to Joe and Sarah for that partnership.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
They're great. And so I just started scrolling through that, and I was having a hard time narrowing it down even then because I found like 5 movies. I was like, I've been meaning to watch that one,
Yep.
And then Glowzies popped up, and I was like, okay, this seems like it was made for me because I love gateway horror. So even though it is like unrated, it's still all the stuff said it was like kind of family friendly, and it looks silly. It stars James Remar, who I love. Mm-hmm. I think he's a super underrated like character actor. And it's got slime and like sticky, gooey stuff in it. And I love the Blob and like body horror and stuff like that. So yeah, it just seemed like the perfect choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a mixture. It's a horror film, but it's kind of sci-fi, and it's got a lot of comedy. Like, I mean, the writing, a little, almost kind of slapstick comedy going on sometimes. But the slime, actually, what stood out to me when you said, "Hey, we're going to do Glowzies," I remember seeing the poster, and it was one of those ones like I hadn't seen it, but I was just like, man, the poster just sticks out. It's so bright, it's welcoming, and it's warm. It reminded me of like trauma films.
Yes,
and that brings me back to my childhood, which is something I haven't told you about yet. But my dad actually directed some trauma films.
Oh,
and so he actually directed the Class of Nukem Highs Part 2 and 3.
Oh, snap.
And so, like, going back to, like, slime and, like, the ooze or whatever they called it in their day for that movie, it just brought me back. Like, pure nostalgia for me when I saw the green stuff.
That's awesome.
Thrown over at people, because I remember that as a kid. I remember playing in it. Like, my dad had, like, truckloads of stuff, and they would just get all over the set and, like, people cleaning it up. It was just a nightmare.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, really brought me back. Thanks for choosing this, because it was just a fun watch.
Awesome. Love that.
Absolutely. For me at least. For you, we'll find out. First take. What do you think about it?
Oh, I loved it. It was super fun. I'm more forgiving of indie horror because I'm like, I know the time you had, I know the budget you had, and I know what you were working with. And so if there are certain shots that I'm like, that was clearly like the first take and they didn't have time to do that again, or when they're trying to like stretch stuff, because there are moments where it feels like something's getting dragged out a little bit more, and I'm like, they could have trimmed this, but it felt like just a long episode of like the Goosebumps show or something like that. It just reminded me of the type of horror stuff I watched on TV as a kid, and it was so fun.
Yeah. I mean, without spoiling it, because this is a spoiler-free review for those listening,
yes, of course.
What would be kind of the vibe or tone of this film in 3 words?
Oh, man. Just sticky, silly. Man, I don't know why I'm having a hard time thinking of a third word. But yeah, just sticky, silly, fun.
Sticky, silly, fun. I like it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, that works for me.
You got influencers being annoying like we are, and then you got veterans being badass like they are. You got James Remar being very James Remar in this one. It's good. And you got some fun, gooey practical effects and some weird neon.
And these old military, the war dogs or whatever they call themselves.
Yeah.
And then you got, these influencers that just randomly show up and be like, oh, I'm related to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, cool. Like, that's so random that you're here at this moment in time, but let's piece it together and make it happen. That was really cool. Did any of the cast members surprise you? Like, obviously, James Remar is in there, and he did an incredible job. And you can even say him. Did he surprise you? Yeah. But, like, were there any other cast members that just surprised you?
I mean, James didn't surprise me necessarily. I know he's going to deliver every chance. He's in so many movies, and not all of them are great, but he always seems to just like give 100.
He was in Oppenheimer, right?
He was,
in a small role there.
Yeah. and then obviously he's Dexter's dad, and then he was in my first memory of James Remar is Mortal Kombat Annihilation when he replaced Christopher Lambert as Raiden. Yep. I was like, what is happening right now?
That math doesn't matter.
Yeah, didn't add up, but it was still fun. And then I feel bad that I'm forgetting all the other actors' names, but I would say the older veteran. I looked him up while I was watching it because I was like, "What else has this guy been in?" He was really fun, and I wish I remembered his name right now.
He was kind of the slapstick comedy of the two.
Exactly. I thought he was great.
I really liked the influencer guy. Like, not that I liked his character at all, but just I really when and again, spoiler free. Just the faces he makes, like in that time, like so good. Like I felt like that was just it was so needed, and he didn't overdo it.
Yeah.
So I think when people or that are listening to watch that, they're going to be like, oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Really well done on that side.
He'd also surprised me because at first you're not supposed to like his character. He's supposed to be like an irritating, like D-bag, and he was, but he was good at that. So I'm like, okay, I get that I'm supposed to not like this guy, and he's doing a good job of making me not like his character. And then as his character progresses, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and for independent films, this is probably the hardest question for most films to answer. How was the pacing for you?
The pacing was decent. I will say there were moments. This is why I'm always like pro theater. I love streaming. I love that, especially like that Momitu and Terror and stuff are getting movies that wouldn't even be made out in front of people, and that it makes them available to watch. But I wish I had like a home theater that I could set up where I would make the rules where I couldn't look at my phone, because watching this movie, I'm into it, but I catch myself like checking my text message notifications, and then I'm looking at my phone for too long, and I'm like, I missed something. And if it a little bit more compelling in certain parts, that might not have happened. But overall, I think the pacing was decent for what it was. It was a short film. It's only like 82 minutes or like 84 minutes long.
Typical hour and a half, roughly.
But it still felt there were some parts where they kind of stretched scenes longer than they needed to be, and then other stuff where they could have like just done a little nip tuck.
Yeah, a little nip tuck, a little slice off that. Sometimes I feel like it just comes down to the score too.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be moments, really in any film, like it doesn't matter what, if it's a big budget or not, like the moments that really kind of drag a bit, or kind of the lull of because you get that little peak in the beginning. You're like, all right, I'm interested. I'm past the first 13 to 15 minutes. Like, I'm going to watch the rest of this film.
Yeah.
And then eventually kind of gets back down again. And then it gets back up to the climax, right? Like, and then you're like, all right, this is what I'm here for. Right?
Yeah.
When it gets down to that valley, you really need some good music. You need something to keep you kind of going. And I think that's what a lot of low budget films end up lacking, because they don't have the budget for it.
Yeah.
They're barely making the film as it goes, right? And they're hoping they get like some PD or some what is it, non like licensable, like what is it called again? Music that's copyrighted. Yeah, non-copyrighted film, like music, like stuff that you don't have to pay money, royalty free. That's the term I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so getting royalty free music and like just hoping that you're like searching the right stuff and finding the right songs and like be able to match it up and get the right part of the song. It's like there's so much that goes into that. And I feel like one of the films that we just recently talked about with the director, actually, this Byron Manuel, a couple episodes ago, he had this movie called Swoon.
Okay.
And again, there's this moment in Swoon where it lulls out a little bit, right? Like every film, it just kind of gets to that valley. Man, his music choices were so good.
Nice.
It was so phenomenally done. You should check that one out, Swoon. Like another one you need to definitely take a look at. It's like a black horror thriller.
Okay.
Phenomenally done. He won a couple awards. He won one of the awards was best screenplay at the Me Show Film Festival, which is only like 8 years in. But man, incredible festival here in LA. And he got best screenplay. Like the writing on it was just top tier.
Nice.
So, but the music really kept me going. Did the gooey slime work for you? Because I think this is the thing. Like, slime is hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially because you got to get the colors right.
Yeah.
But then they also added some kind of filters to it and made it kind of look bright at certain points. Like, did it work for you, or is it just kind of cheesy and that's what it was supposed to be?
Yeah. No, I think it was kind of cheesy. I would like to give them credit, assuming that was somewhat intentional, but I know there were elements of it where I'm like, you probably would have wanted to make this look cleaner if you had the budget or you had the time. But I think that's what kind of worked for me from like a nostalgia piece, where it just reminded me of like an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode or a Goosebumps
True.
episode, where that's what the gooey, slimy, like shine would look like in the 90s. And then doing the weird like tentacles and stuff that they did with it was also I mean, I'm a sucker for any sort of weird practical like stop motion effects. Anything you do with that, I'm like, even if it looks terrible, I'm like, hell yeah for doing it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think the music choices from the jukebox were definitely good.
Yes. That was some good music choice for sure.
They got one in there.
Yeah.
As far as like the budget, you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Were you good with the low budget, or do you wish they had like a little bit more?
I do wish they had a little bit more. This is the hardest part, is you see movies like this where this one had already been, I think that's another thing that kind of was intriguing to me about it, is it reminded me of, did you ever read about Rob Zombie's The Blob remake that he never made? So after, I don't know if it was after House of a Thousand Corpses or something else, but he was also supposed to direct like one of the Crow sequels, but he was in pre-pro to do a remake of The Blob, but he wanted it to be that the blob infected people and like turned them into these little blob zombies. And so when I read the synopsis for Glowzies, I was like, oh, somebody did like a family-friendly version of Rob Zombie's Blob remake. Okay. And so I don't mind the low budget. I feel like there's it's like a double-edged sword where you can appreciate how much they were able to accomplish with what they had, but you see the potential if they had more money. And that's why I'm like, why? Like, I wish we could just remake all these movies, get all the same people involved. So I'm like, obviously the writer has something here, the director has an eye for this, and just give them an extra like $10 million and be like, blow this out and see what we
talked
come
about
up
on one of the other episodes. I think it was with Monty's episode. We talked about, say, okay, let's give the same script to 3 different crews. One crew is going to have like $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
One crew is going to have like $300K, and one crew is going to have like $20K. Like, you can use SAG actors under $20K, do it that route, $300K ultra low budget SAG, and then the $5 million route. Or you just go like full indie unknown actors on the on the lower end, right? And then you kind of get that mixed bag at the $300K route, and then the $5 million you're able to afford some names. Yeah, maybe,
maybe, yeah,
some names, maybe B list, but maybe not A list. But we'll see. Either way, bigger, middle, and small budget, and put it together and say here, and don't let them talk. Like, do not let them know that it's even happening, and just say, hey, go make this film. And then see what happens, and then put like all 3 films up at the same time, and just watch them through, and just see what they're able to make, because that's the hardest thing. It's you have an incredible writer that's just unknown, or you have an incredible director that again just hasn't made their first feature yet. Yeah, right. Or you have an actor that could just skyrocket, like just could be the next whatever, right? Like currently Timothy Chalamet or whatever, like who has been in the most films in 2025, right? It's like Pedro you have Pascal. That person, Pedro Pascal, Pascal's in everything. He's in every meme too. So it's like you could take that actor and maybe they get found because of that, right? So it was a fun conversation, because it's like, man, there's some really, really good talent out there. They just may not have the budget.
Oh, for sure. And it's also like, I feel like you could do another game of that where you just take 2 movies and you're like, which of these do you think, like, it reminds me of that YouTube series where it's like Expensive Taste or something, and they have them sip 2 types of champagne, and like, can you guess which one costs more? And like, this glass costs $5, this glass costs $200. And you could do that with, like, I just saw that movie Primitive War, the dinosaur Vietnam movie, and it looks so good. Like, the dinosaur action in that movie is nuts. And I don't know the exact number, but their budget was ridiculously low for like an action horror film with a bunch of creatures in it. So what they managed to pull off is insane. And I'm sure there are other movies out there that don't look good. Like, I don't want to name names, but like, I know the Madam Web budget was insane, and that movie apparently was not good.
Well, everyone kind of agreed that the recent Ice Cube movie. So let's just say their budget, and we can use it for anything else.
There you go. Yeah,
because it really fell off.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you could just compare the two and be like, this is what this crew pulled off with 2 or 3 million, while this crew had 25 million, and this is the best they could come up with. And that's always and like anytime I see a low budget, like Glowzies, so many things were working for me that I was like, maybe it is just budget, or maybe another writer to go in and just like punch up some stuff, and like I said, nip tuck, just like kind of clean up some of these scenes. But for the most part, the cast was all great.
Had no problem with the cast.
The director clearly knows what he's doing, has an eye for this stuff. Like there were some really fun shots in there. Certain sequences reminded me of like your time in perfection when you watch Tremors and stuff like that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. I would just give them more budget, because there are other movies I've watched where I'm like, everything was working here except for these like elements where I think if we just got a different director in there, they would have made that cleaner, or if we had a different writer to go through and like tweak these jokes, that would have been better. But I feel like everything in Glowzies worked. They were just hamstrung by timing and money.
I mean, even if you took the same film and just kind of cleaned up the post, that alone would make it a little bit cleaner. Just because you have some inconsistencies with like the lighting of the goo and and the different eyes and the looks and then whatever, and like even the masks of the glowsy guys, like it's like, you know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of fun, and I think there's so many films that are, and whether they're scripts that again never got finished or ones that did get finished at a lower budget, man, there's so many great stories that could get remade. Yeah, instead of just going back and okay, we're gonna remake something that was just a box office hit from 20 years ago and disappoint everyone with the remake. Like, go back and make something that just was amazing, but just didn't have it all there, like from a financial standpoint, and remake that and just have fun with it.
That's what I would do if I had like Kardashian money or something. If I was like one of those crazy rebel billionaires, instead of just buying a bunch of yachts, I would be like, hey, you want to make a horror movie and you've got this idea? Here's $10 million, because that's nothing to me. Like I made that back in interest while having this conversation with you. So just enjoy it, and then make the movie just for me. And I would have my own studio, and I would just release that, and that's all I would do.
That's all
and
you
they'd
need.
be like, all these movies are losing money, Josh. And I'd be like, no, they're not. I don't care. I bought it. I made the movie for myself.
All you need to do is win the Powerball.
Yeah, exactly.
Just have that happen, which is some student at University of Texas. He's a sophomore, just won the Powerball.
Oh,
$2 billion, no big deal. I think he bought like three tickets too.
Holy smokes.
Just 3. That's it.
I gotta find this guy. See if he wants to produce a movie with me.
Last but not least, I always ask, who's gonna love this movie, and would you recommend it?
I would recommend it, absolutely. I recommend most movies. Even if I don't like a movie, I'm still like, you should still give it a shot. Yeah, somebody. That's why I don't usually review movies that I really didn't like, because I don't want to steer anyone away from anything. But I think anyone who grew up watching like cheesy kids horror in the 90s, anyone who loves sticky, gooey stuff, and anyone who can appreciate just like a fun, low budget like romp. If you're trying to get your kid into like fun zombie type stuff or alien type stuff, like this is an easy watch, and it's fun and it's silly and it's not wholly inappropriate. I think there's like a couple of exploding heads, but they're gooey green heads. They're not even like, that's fine. It's not like gore. Yeah, you're fine.
Enjoy it, kids.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More From Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Momi2 Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Momi2 app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.